Hello. What I'm going to do is give you a quick presentation. This is something that I did at BIM Show Live on Tuesday of this week. So that was November the 1st, I think. Anyway, it's one of a two-part tutorial that I did live. Really very simple. This first part, it's just how to create a simple parametric mass inside Vasari. You could do exactly the same thing in Revit as well. So in Vasari, we'll come up here and we'll go to the applications menu and do new family. And what we'll choose is standard mass.rft template file. If we open that. And we're going to start by laying down some simple reference lines, and the reference lines are going to be the shape that we're going to form for the extrusion for this simple mass. I kind of like to go to level 1 to be able to do this, so I'm looking on plan, and we'll go to reference, and I'm going to untick the word make surface with closed loops. I'm going to kind of leave that. I'll explain why in a second. All I'm going to do is literally draw myself with reference lines an L shape. Now if I'd had that ticked, it would have automatically created an extrusion or a surface from it. I kind of didn't want to do that. I want to do that afterwards. So let's go back to our 3D view and we see our L shape, and now what we're going to do is we'll set the work plane, and we can do that just literally by clicking level 1. Okay, and then we're going to go to our dimensions, and we're going to go to the align dimension, and we're just going to dimension the little fella up. Okay, so we'll pick that one there as well. I'll pick this long one here and this one here as well. So you can see I've dimensioned it with the loose label dimensions. If you obviously come along and tab select one of those edges, you can drag it and you'll see that the dimensions will automatically update. Now what we would ideally like to do is make this parametric, so we can select these dimensions and we're going to turn them into parameters, label parameters. So we'll select this dimension here, go to label, and we'll add parameter. We'll make it an instance parameter because what I want to do is when I load it into my project, I want to have drag handles so I can interactively push and pull the shape around. And what we'll do is we'll call this L1. Okay, we'll select this one here and add a parameter, and we'll call that W1, make that an instance parameter. W2 instance, and we'll make this one, add a parameter, and make that L2 and make that an instance. Now if I can quickly do a check. If I go to my family types, you'll now find that these parameters are in here. And we can start to play around with them. So if you make like 30 meters and apply it. Now what you will find is that if you're not smart about it, you will break it. So if you were to pull these parameters back to being really small dimensions or kind of overlapping or negative values, they're going to kind of fail on you. But obviously we know that this shape is always, we want to kind of be a flexible L shape form. Okay, so having done that, what we want to be able to do now is control the height. So what we're going to do is add some parameters in here. Okay, so we'll start off, we'll add a parameter, and we'll make it a length, and make it instance, and we'll call this H. Okay, and we'll give that a value, and we'll give that, actually no, what we'll do is we'll leave that 0 at the moment, right? And what we're going to do is add another parameter in here, and we're going to call that floor to floor. Okay, and we'll make that an instance parameter, and we'll make that a floor to floor value, okay, 3 meters. Now what we want to do is control the number of stories. We'll add another parameter, make it instance. Rather than length parameter, we're going to make an integer, so that's going to allow us to put in whole numbers, and we'll call it story. Okay, that. And we can put a story value in there, and we'll call that 5, say 5 stories high. And then what we'll do now, okay, is to calculate our height, we'll go FFL multiplied by story. Now you need to watch yourself. It needs to be it is case sensitive, so if you screw up on your on your text, it will fail. If we apply that, you can see that automatically now what we have is a story height, and then we can play with that. If we put that in, it's 3 stories high, and apply it, and it only makes it 9 meters high. So that's kind of fine. That's working for us. If we OK that, what we do now is we come along and we select our reference lines. Just get your pointer, select them, and we choose create form. Okay, and we'll choose an extrusion rather than just a plane. And having done that, what we'll do now, if we go over to here to our properties palette and we see our positive offset, at the moment it's some obscure 12 meters odd. If you click the little button there, we can assign our height parameter to the positive offset. So we'll click that. We're going to then assign it to H for the height, and we'll OK that, and you'll see that then it is now applying the same rules as our properties here. So we can play with this. If you increase the number of stories to 5, obviously the little fellow moves up and down, which is cool. That's what we want it to do. We can flex it if we start to play with some of these figures here. 14 meters. Let's make that like 32 meters, 15 meters, and apply it. And this, you should start to flex it, and you'll see that the L-shaped form will start to move as you require. Okay, so having done that, OK that. What you would normally do now is save the family name or save it somewhere, a folder or whatever. But I'm going to quickly show you, we're just going to quickly load it directly into our project, and you'll see it will be placed on the end of our pointer, and we can place it. Now, you think you need to watch is one of the cool things about Vasari compared with Revit, will automatically place it on a work plane. As you can see there, if inadvertently you've clicked place on face, it will try and snap it to the face, and it does all some really weird things. But our placement is work plane, and we're going to place it on level 1. Place it down here, and you'll see by selecting it, can you see we've got little arrows? Those are our drag handles, so we can start to control, interactively control it within Vasari here by pushing and pulling around, or we can be a bit more specific with the parameter properties over here. So for instance, if you wanted to increase the number of stories, and we made that 7 and apply it, you can see the L-shaped form increases. Interactively push and pull it around. So it gives you really good flexibility. If we just go to a top view, let's just mirror it around that center point here. And we'll take these two here, and then we'll mirror here. Okay, so let's just take this, let's increase this to say 12, apply that, we'll make this one 10, make this one 8, and we'll make this one here 6. Okay, so really quickly, what I've demonstrated there is how you could create a very simple parametric form. I mean, you'll find that Vasari actually comes with some pre-baked examples anyway, but it'll give you an idea of how you could use parameters to drive simple geometry inside Vasari.